Do you guys love seafood? Because I love seafood. I love salmon, I love lobster, I love shrimp, I love tuna, and I love crab. Crab legs, king crab, crab rangoon, love it. You know who else loves crab? Frieza.
Bagwan, brethren, Vegeta, me be a spirit animal. And me here to tell you how to mash up that bomber clot Frieza. All you got to do is...
And according to the next chapter of Dragon Ball Unguarded, he's loved it for a long time.
Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
In the last chapter, Frieza is waiting by the hole in the tree for the Saiyan to come out. And at the beginning of this chapter, he wakes up to find the Saiyan huddled up against him. And there is some funny moments between this Saiyan and Frieza throughout this chapter. This chapter is building upon their friendship, their ultimate friendship that I'm assuming the creator of this comic is going to flesh out and be a big point toward the end of this story. We see Frieza realistically putting up with stuff that you would think he would never put up with just to placate this Saiyan, because after their quick interaction, Frieza wants to go back to the base because he's hungry, and this Saiyan, she doesn't want to go back to the base because that's where she was getting picked on. So he ends up staying with her, and she names a plethora of different types of food that they can forage around for and try to find because she knows that he's hungry. And no, Frieza's not going to do all that. He's tired. He doesn't want to be going and rummaging around. But there's one thing that's relatively easy for him to catch, and something that him and his mother had done since he was a small child. And so he takes this Saiyan into the river, and this is where we find out that Frieza loves crabs. So he starts pulling crabs out of the river one by one, and while they're catching crab, I found this to be a really interesting little nod to what ultimately I forgot was one of the Saiyan's weaknesses. And so one of the crabs actually grabs onto the Saiyan's tail, and she falls forward into the water and she starts drowning. And I completely forgot that that is one of the main weak points for the Saiyans. As soon as you grab their tail, their body stops working. And so Frieza has no idea what's going on, but he ends up accidentally stepping on the crab and killing it. And that relieves the Saiyan from this death grip, and she comes out and she explains that once someone grabs onto the tail, her whole body hurts all over and she cannot move. Again, the interactions between Frieza and this Saiyan are not only realistic in my opinion, but they have a lot of depth to them because Frieza's trying to figure out stuff about the Saiyans. He's trying to figure out why does she turn into a great ape at will? Do only more powerful Saiyans turn into great apes? Why does she know the common tongue? Why? I forgot to mention that in the last chapter. She's a translator. She's a translator for the common tongue, so she's the only one that can talk back and forth between the Saiyans and the Arcosians. So he asks her why she knows the common tongue, and we really don't get answers to this because this Saiyan is a child and her mind's going all over the place. But she does not want to eat the crab because the crab has a face, and she's like, I don't want to eat something that has a face to it. And then Frieza ends up just smushing the crab with his tail, and he's like, no face. And she freaks out. I thought the part was funny. I think some of the little jokes that they have between these two characters are really well done. And throughout this chapter, actually, we have this backstory of what Cooler's childhood was like, and how Frieza's mother started feeling alienated from King Cold as soon as Cooler was born. She's like, I always see his back. He wasn't there for the birth. And this is where King Cold's talk of having these children end up becoming warriors really starts blossoming, and she does not like this. And so we get some of the Cooler's backstory throughout this chapter, and we could see how Cooler basically is inadequate and really isn't as powerful as King Cold would have liked him to be. He doesn't have that raw strength, and so he's disappointed with Cooler, and Cooler knows that. So Frieza ends up taking the monkey to the market, and that's the last we see of him because it cuts to more of Cooler's backstory, and then the chapter ends. This is a very short chapter, and I don't think it's quite done. I think the artist is still creating more panels. So I think that for the time being, there's definitely going to be more chapters to this, and I definitely want to see what happens in the future of this manga, because again, this is extremely interesting stuff, and I do want to see where down the line Frieza turns on his newfound friend, because he is afraid of the Saiyan legend. He does destroy planet Vegeta, so I want to see down the line exactly where that switch flips itself and he becomes more of a villain toward the Saiyans. But ultimately, this has been a fun ride. This is a great fan-made manga. And if you guys have any suggestions for more fan-made mangas, let me know in the comment section below, or hit me up on Twitter. I will check them out, and if they're really good, I'll go ahead and review them on this channel. But let me know what you guys think of this newfound friendship between Frieza and a Saiyan. I know it sounds weird, but let me know what your thoughts are on that. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.